Hi, everyone. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. So, from time to time, I have these wonderful videos that I make on specific topics. And this particular topic is a topic on price and value. So, what the hell are we talking about? One of the worst things that can happen and the best things that can happen to a cryptocurrency project is price appreciation and notoriety. The best days of my life were in 2015 and 2016 before Cardano launched because we were science and we were doing engineering and we were really enjoying and fired up about just getting to the business of business and thinking about protocol development and thinking about scientific advancement. The minute Cardano launched, there was always this uncomfortable tension where all these new people showed up, and the only thing they care about is whether ADA goes up or down.
Ladies and gentlemen, today in this video, we're going to be talking about Cardano. We're going to be talking about a few things here, whether or not I'm actually live streaming, let me make sure. But in the meantime, the only thing people cared about is with whether ADA goes up or down, or in other words, when the moon, y'all. When is the moon coming? When are we going to the moon? So in this video, we're going to be talking about Charles Hoskinson, his thoughts on speculating on Cardano's price. We're also going to be talking about another point that I think is valid that another YouTuber brings up and about, speculating on price. When is it appropriate? And we're also going to compare Charles Hoskinson and Elon Musk in some of their characteristics as leaders. So let's get into it. Y'all are sick of hearing me talk. I know it.
And their whole judge of whether a project is successful or not is the value of ADA. Some of the most deeply uncomfortable emails and messages I've gotten in my career were usually from friends or companies congratulating me when ADA reached some arbitrary price point, like $1 or something like that. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we've written 102 papers. We've written all this code. We're actually deploying useful things. Like we have metadata since December, and it's being used for beef chain and supply chains. There's like cows on our blockchain. We have
Cows on the blockchain, y'all. That's hilarious to me. Like cows on the blockchain, bro? Huh? What does that even mean? So what that means basically, there's a lot of questions of what is blockchain technology even going to be used for? Are we even using it right now? And it's potentially being seen as a way to implement some things. It's potentially solving a supply chain problem in the farming industry. But let's move on forward a little bit here. 237. Give me a second, y'all.
With base speculation about these particular things. It's not my job as a technology company, an engineer, a scientist, to go and make the price go up. It's my job to wake up and worry about how do you run a nation on Cardano? What would be the actual technical requirement there? How do we make it useful so when the anti-counterfeiting people come in and they say, we want, I don't know, pick an example, we want Rolexes to be authenticated. How do you actually figure something out like that? What if Lamborghini came to me tomorrow and said, we want to do NFTs and authentication and do our merchandise and rah on your blockchain? That's the kind of stuff that matters to me. And I believe very firmly that we are, as an ecosystem, in the best position over the next 5 years to capture chunks of those types of marketplaces.
I 100% agree, y'all. And I'm going to give you my explanation why. So if you're a company like Rolex, like Lamborghini, those examples that he gave, or just let's say any institution, right? And you're looking at blockchain technology and you're saying, okay, there's some interesting stuff going on there. I'm going to wait though. Who are you going to go with? Are you going to go with the platform that has many problems? They were the first to move, which means they are at a severe disadvantage when it comes to actually being able to solve the issues with their technology. You can visibly see all the problems they face because of the large amount of users coming in actually making the platform worse and harder to use. There's also a question of, how secure is it? It's not as secure as Bitcoin. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Ethereum, their platform. But I have nothing against it. I'm not too familiar with it. I'm not going to be taking shots. But are you going to choose that platform or a platform that approached blockchain technology and implementation, though in a very sophisticated and academic way? They literally got a bunch of academic professors and scientists involved and asked, and they just started off basically like asking, okay, well, what is a blockchain? What is a ledger? Do you even know what that is? That's something that they wrote a paper on it. They sent it out to some people, and then they did that for I think there's like 100 research papers now. And yeah, that's just the surface of the amount of years of effort and preparation that they've been putting in to everything that Cardano's been doing. They have answers to almost everything. Security, how scalable, like if there's more people, like the goal for Charles is for more people to be using this platform. Ethereum, I don't think it was meant for that. Siri's answering me now. But yeah, which platform are you gonna choose as an institution looking to get into blockchain technology? And that's just my opinion about it and my say about Cardano's. But let's get into here. All right.
Bird right here. How about that? So this is one of the national birds of Ethiopia, and it sits on my desk every day as a reminder of what we've accomplished. We walked into a nation state, and we spent years in that nation state. We had to train people. We had IO Global personnel live for months in Ethiopia to teach 23 gals, and John O'Connor's primary residence is Ethiopia. So you're damn right, I'm going to get really excited when we get imminently close to closing a deal there with millions of people, because my mission as a company is to give economic identity to those who don't have it and to have cascading disruption in markets.
So there's a few things there that I want to go over. So if you're not familiar with what Charles Hoskinson did in Ethiopia, I'm going to try and explain it. I'm not gonna act like I have a deep understanding, like I was there. When they were first working on Cardano and looking at blockchain, like, okay, this is interesting technology. What can we actually do with it? He had a very humble approach, like approaching. He didn't say, I have everything. I have the answers to everything and all the problems you have. Here's how to do it. Here's how exactly what we're gonna do. He didn't do that. He went into Ethiopia as well as other places, I'm sure, and he tried to understand what is it, what are the problems, like what are actual problems that people are having in these third world countries, and he got to know the people, some people in power, like people in government. They're not exactly evil. People desire to do good. And it's not like every single person in the government is evil and a bad person. And so he's, over the course of years, him and his team, they learned about the people, and they also taught them how to code. And that was like the first steps that they took to be creating this platform and this community. If you're not aware, Cardano is a very pretty strong community. Something that I'm noticing as I look more and more into it. The second point he talks about is economic identity. What does that mean? That's the whole basis at which Cardano is built upon. They want to, I'll give you an example. So in the US, if you live in the US or any other developed country, Chances are you're pretty blessed. You know, not everybody has a credit card. Not everybody's banked. Not everyone has a social security. All these different things. I'm gonna pull out my credit card and show y'all. No. Yeah, not everyone across the globe has those things. If you have a house, and let's say your land is documented in some records, well, there's a good chance that the government, if they're corrupt, it could just, if they're paid enough, could just switch that around. And so, if your identity completely relies on the trust of others, on the trust of this organization, then you're screwed if you piss them off. You know what I mean? You gotta play by their rules. And so, even Cardano and Charles Hoskinson's focus is, that's why in the crypto community, cryptocurrencies, so many people value decentralization, because the whole basis at which this was found with Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever that guy is or team is, when they wrote that white paper talking about peer-to-peer transactions in a decentralized way with no middleman. What does that even mean? Well, it means you don't have to trust. You don't have to trust that people are going to be good all the time. Even with Cardano, that's why it's such a big deal that they've reached 100% decentralization. And that was a long tangent, but basically, economic identity is when you have a bank, you have a credit card, and you have, a social record that you exist. And if you're looking to get employed, somebody's able to look at all your history, all your transactions, your credit. Some people don't have credit. Some people don't have records that they can show to people to get a job. And so that's what economic identity is. The third part that he brings up is wanting to disrupt the marketplace. Now imagine this, right? Imagine Cardano succeeds in their mission and they go, hey, we can actually create one giant global financial operating system, whatever that may mean. That's the word that they use, global financial operating system. What if Cardano becomes that system? Could you imagine the amount of value there? Like the amount of not just dollars, but also information and decentralized apps that would be created on that platform to allow all of these things to happen. One of the ideas that Charles Hoskinson brings up is like, if you've heard of Kiva, where you're able to lend things, where you're able to people are able to apply if they're in a third world country and they need some money to start up their small micro business. They're able to apply for a micro loan, which could be like $20. Well, $20 from an individual person, but if you need like $900 to start up your farm in Ethiopia, you could go to Kiva and you could apply for that, and anybody could come. And you would pay that back at a return. And that's just one example of an app that could be created on Cardano. Imagine any other app. They're called dApps, decentralized apps. All of the value that would be created here, because they've created this Windows operating system for the entire world. Yeah, that's his mission. That's his vision, that the poor man is able to use the same tools as the rich man. I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna move on to the next point, which is how exactly, what does this have to do with price? When is Cardano mooning? when moon? Now that's a good point. As if you're an investor, you want to know, well, what's the timeline? How realistic is all this? Is this too idealistic? And I'm just gonna let my good friend Wallace here, Wallace Inc., good channel, check him out, y'all. Check him out for real. I'm gonna let him talk for a second.
The title of this video is, "This will make Cardano go parabolic." You guys want to know what it is? time. I know that's not what you want to hear. Time. You feel that? That's called time. Yep, that's time, guys. Time is what is going to make Cardano go parabolic. I don't mean to burst your balloons. And we have a lot of really beautiful, beautiful things coming up. We have the Alonzo hard fork coming up. It's going to go testnet first, okay? Baby steps. Testnet first. And then we're going to get the hard fork. That's going to allow smart contracts on the platform. That is like the first step in many, many steps towards your moon mission. Okay? You see these people who are like, why no moon? It's like, dude, get off the ledge of the building. He's like, I'm going to jump. You bought Cardano yesterday. Okay? I've been in this since 2017 when the project first came out. You need to have patience with things like this as they develop. We do not have a working product yet.
You heard that, guys? Cardano doesn't even have a working product yet, and they're worth like 38 billion. Am I right? Freaking weirdos. CoinMarketCap. Let's go into CoinMarketCap. Let's look up what is Cardano's market cap. It's at $1.18. Nice. It was just at $1.20. Yeah, it's kind of trading sideways right now, and that's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. People are short-sighted. Let me zoom in a little bit. People only worry about the price now. But you're gonna be missing out on a huge long-term opportunity if you only look at that. The market cap is 38 billion. That's pretty big for a platform with no product yet. The product that we have right now is some wallets, where you can store your ADA and delegate it, which means gain interest on it, basically. This mobile app where you're able to hold your tokens. That's really all there is, and the desktop version of that. So I'm not saying that I'm not bullish Cardano short term. No, quite the opposite, bro. I'm bullish short term and long term. I think there's great things in store for it. It's just that when it comes to these things, there's so many people that just they're only worried about superficial things. And I'm gonna give you an example. And it's this tweet that I'm gonna pull up here by. Well, I'm gonna give you the parallels of Charles Hoskinson and Elon Musk and why I compare the two. So there's this tweet here that I'm actually gonna pull up right now. Elon Musk. This was in 2018, before Tesla exploded. Before it's being seen as the most valuable company almost in the world. Not yet, at least. But basically, I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420, funding secured. So, what's the story behind this? Why was Elon Musk considering taking Tesla private? It's because of this was around the time, right? So much BS was being thrown at this man. There was hella institutions short selling Tesla. Basically the entire media outlet, all of these institutions were just literally trying to make Tesla go bankrupt so that they could profit from that, because they were all betting their money against Tesla going bankrupt. And this was around 2018. Imagine being the CEO of a company and you're trying to do great things. You're literally trying to change the world and move people from pollution creating cars to sustainable energy. And short-term short sellers are trying to make you go bankrupt so that they can make a quick buck. Like, that's why he was considering taking Tesla private. And there's a little parallel here with Charles Hoskinson. Now, I think he's actually in a huge advantage because he isn't a company. He looked at it from a decentralized perspective and was able to create Cardano from the ground up with it's considered a Cardano community. It's 3 different companies that are actually involved in the process of Cardano, setting up the platform itself. It's also the 16,000 people, I believe, that are involved in the voting process. And that'll be more. It's an open platform for anybody to take part in. And that's the advantage that Cardano has over, being a public company, is that you're not, it's very hard. Dude, I don't know how Elon Musk did it as like one entity, taking all of the shit that he took. But Cardano is like literally thousands of people. There's a reason why people look up to Charles Hoskinson, is because he's built this community. Now y'all probably just like, this kid's just fucking wasting my time. But on this channel we talk about projects and companies that we believe have a positive impact in the world in the long term. So if you consider yourself a long-term thinker, consider subscribing. With that being said, thank you for watching. Goodbye.